Hello everyone, and after a very long hiatus and software issues and other things, we're finally going to get into our first part of the Pokemon Violet playthrough. Now, I had an absolute blast playing this game. Probably some of the most fun I've had in quite a while, playing through a new game. Oh, you know what? I'm so happy Muck's back. I've honestly missed the big sludgy blob. Box Legendary just disappeared for a minute, and title screen, and here we are in our house. So we start in our house. We did blue hair since it's my favorite color, and we get met by the professor, doctor, whatever the hell he is. But anyway, yeah, this old dude with a purple coat thing. And yeah, we named our trainer Squirrel. No reference at all to Pachirisu. There's definitely no reason behind that at all. And we're at the part where we get to pick our starter and meet Nemona. Also, why the hell is her ponytail longer than mine? That should be a crime. Anyway, she has a very healthy obsession with battling. Well, unhealthy, sorry. And people joke about that. Like, she was literally full on ready to send out like some of her strongest team members before the rival fight that we'll get to a little bit later. But we're going to pick Sprigatito, and somehow the game let us name it Weedcat. Amazingly enough, weed by itself does not work, but after that, the game just doesn't care anymore. So, we got our Weedcat, and we go into this house, and we find the most perfect Pokemon ever created, Pachirisu. He's so adorable. I'm just so happy he's back. He would be the one exception to the Gen 9 rule, because they're only using new Pokemon, but we have to fight Nemona. I'm not sure why she has Fuecoco or she doesn't have Fuecoco, but what is it like in those earlier games? They used to like always pick the Pokemon that you were weak against, and now they don't do that. It kind of makes me sad. We have Leafage. She's really easy because, of course, like if it was Fuecoco, she wouldn't have been as easy. I do want to point out how amazing it is that the first Pokemon that you could get to capture is Lechonk, and I am all for it. I love Lechonk. It's basically the new, Wooloo to me. Of course, it's not as perfect as Wooloo. Wooloo is like easily one of the best cute Pokemon, at least recently. Because, none of them are allowed to compare to Pachirisu. Houndour, leave him alone! See? That's what you get. Anyway, we were going to fall off this cliff and we were saved by our phone for some odd reason or another, but we go up to this thing and wonder why in the world it's somehow on the beach. I don't know if it crashed from that tutorial thing or whatever, but we end up giving it a sandwich. And if you're wondering why it looks like I'm hopping around the bag, it's because I had to cut out a really lengthy time of me trying every single item just for fun. But of course, we give it the sandwich, and somehow this robotic lizard scarfs it down and can digest it no problem. Because, let's be real, logic doesn't exactly exist in Pokemon all the time. I mean, Wooper used to be able to know Ice Punch. Also, we were stuck against this really high-leveled Houndoom. We're just gonna run away. But, let's be real, we weren't winning, and Houndoom's not happy about it. Houndoom wanted to beat the snot out of our poor Lechonk. Who also apparently wants to beat the snot out of us, is this guy. We get to him, he calls us a little something, and then we battle, because, I don't know what was after that ellipses, but he's pretty easy. He just has a Squavit. Unfortunately that means Greedence in this game, and that makes me sad, because I hate that thing. But the fight's really easy, and then he gives us the Pokeball for Miraidon. For you Scarlet enthusiasts who haven't played the game, just want to know what it's called, that would be Koraidon. Not to be confused with regular Rhydon, of course. I didn't use that in the nickname for Miraidon. Nope, not at all. Anyway, we named Wooper Pooper just for the memes. There were a bunch of memes coming out like that it looked like, pudding or doo-doo or whatever. But I think Wooper's adorable. We named Fido Purebred, and we named Squavit I Hate It, mostly because I just hate what it evolves into. So, our team isn't necessarily coming together, but we're getting cool Pokemon, so that's really all that matters here. Oh, we have to approach the trainers. Where's... Oh, okay, he's back. Well, you know what? That's not important. We don't want to fight him. No. We want to fight kids. That's right. We're going to take this kid's lunch money. Right after we destroy his Azurill and the ground disappears. And now it's fine. Again, you know what? There's some bugs and just some weird goofage in this game sometimes. It doesn't really affect anything. But there are some times where you'll try to jump with Miraidon or Koraidon, and it'll just hover there in the air, and then it just puts you back. Or it, like, won't let you go off a ledge. Like, this is just the Pika clone. It's not really anything exciting. I thought I was going to use this thing just like I thought I was going to fight Nemona here, and then the footage said no. So, we're in Mesagoza now. This city is gigantic. There is, like, pretty much anything and everything in this city. I can't believe, like, this has to be one of the biggest cities I've seen in a Pokemon game. And we kind of do some exploring, and then we see this poor student girl getting harassed by these bully people named Team Star. I'm also sad that she has a super cute Eevee backpack that I totally want in this game, but the game won't let you get it because the programmers wouldn't put it in there, and it's just depressing because, come on, that backpack just looks adorable. And it'd match our trainer because she's adorable too. But we have to fight them because they're harassing this poor girl named Penny. Also, she has multicolored hair, and we can't do that, and that's also a problem. Give me my multicolored hair, darn it! I want more variety than just the school uniforms. Alright, terastallizing. We get a cool crystal hat that looks like a cute little flower. So terastallizing is this generation's new mechanic, and all that's going to do is it basically doubles your stab, but also only gives you one type, which is really good for multi-type Pokemon. Like, let's say you have Sneasel and you don't want to be 4 times weak to fighting. Instead of that, you could just make it Ghost type, and now it's completely immune to fighting. And that's actually really cool. You can do any type with any Pokemon, or you can do something cruel, like giving something Levitate the electric type. That certainly doesn't happen in a certain fight in this game. By the way, speaking of certain fights, if there's any specific fights you want me to include outside of the Elite Four or Endgame, please let me know in the comment section. I'm not necessarily planning on getting to every single thing in this playthrough, not just because this takes up a lot of computer storage to actually get to, but I don't think a playthrough of a game necessarily has to show each individual part. I am going to be showing each part of the main quest that you have to do, like one part of each, but I am not planning on showing every single badge. The nice thing though with all the badges though is you can go in a bunch of different orders, which now we can finally do, because we finally get this announcement for this treasure hunt by Director Clavel, and now what's this? Wait, you're telling me that in order to make TMs, we have to basically beat up other Pokemon and just take parts of them? I don't know if I like this. This condones something that's absolutely barbaric. I don't think I like this. Fur? Down? Whatever in the world that is. It seems weird. What doesn't seem weird is gym tests. Yes, gym tests are in this game. Some of them are better than others. For this one, we get to do the olive roll, which, for somebody that doesn't like olives, that sounds absolutely disgusting. Thankfully, we're not eating it. We're just smacking this giant olive and moving it until it gets into this goal thing. They also don't know the name of our trainer, which, I mean, I get it. She's a nobody right now, but soon she's going to be one of the best trainers in the world. Well, when that gets out, but obviously that's going to be one of the later parts. But you just keep hitting this thing until it just rolls around into the goal. If you're wondering why it's skipping so much, it's because it's time consuming. It only goes so fast. It's not like you can get on something. I mean, you can get on Miraidon or Koraidon, but, you know, you can't power up your shots or anything. Well, let's fight our first gym leader, being Katie, the Bug-type trainer. I really wish Bug-type was something that would actually show up later in a game, because outside of Aaron of the Elite Four in Gen 4, there's no late-game Bug trainers, and that just makes me sad. But we're just going to be leading our Shroodle, hitting some acid sprays to drop the special defense 2 stages, which it will always do. It's not like a chance. Unless you have Clear Body, Contrary, or your Steel type, it's always going to work. Or if you're holding an item like, I think it's Covert Cloak it is that prevents effects, like secondary effects of moves. But she's going to be terrestrializing your Teddiursa to the Bug type, and those antennas just look so stinking cute. Unfortunately, we can't get distracted by how adorable Teddiursa looks as it smacks us with a 5-hit Fury Swipes. We do try to lower its attack. Now, Bug can be a problematic type early game. Her Bug move is Fury Cutter, which is going to be hitting incredibly hard, harder than normal because the Terra boost is double stab. But thankfully, Fido resists all of her Bug moves, and because of that, we're able to knock it out with the Fido, knocking out our Teddiursa and getting ourselves our first of 8 gym badges. So there are 18 total badges in this game, 8 gym badges, 5 Team Star bases, and 5 Titans. Also, we got a TM that we're probably never going to use. Full disclosure, pretty much every TM we get for a fight is something we're not going to use. But I don't know, we'll see what happens. But now we can do more exploring and try to celebrate with a celebratory dip in the pool, which we would do if this overgrown lizard could actually swim. So I'm guessing there's some sort of an upgrade coming somewhere that's going to give us the ability to swim. But in the meantime, we're going to catch ourselves an actually usable electric type. Look, I know Pawmi was an electric type, but I'm not really planning on using it here. I don't know what Tadbulb goes into, but I heard that evolving Pawmi at this point was an absolute disaster and people just hated it. Sprigatito must stay adorable at all times, so he's not evolving. We're going to catch this Misdreavus though, and I'm really happy Misdreavus is in this game. I loved Mismagius back in Generation 4, and while I can't use it because we're only using newer Pokemon, it's nice to see. It means that it's something that we could use, maybe in another playthrough if we decide to just use other Pokemon. And I do have Scarlet as well, so anytime there's any silly challenges you actually want me to do in this game, Scarlet's likely the game they're going to take place in. I've put in several hundred hours in this game as a whole, so the likelihood that this is the game we do challenge runs in, it's pretty much not going to happen. But Scarlet's the same game, just different legendary, so we can use that one. So this thing can't get up hills either. I'm assuming there's some high jump ability somewhere we're supposed to get. But let's see what these Terradens are about, because I was seeing quite a few of those when I was just exploring. But I think now it's finally time that we actually see what this is all about. So it looks like we've got a flying type. It's got a little cursor thing in the top right. So we've got a Shroomish with balloons. So we've got a flying mushroom, basically. So we're going to be using our Tadbulb just since it's electric type. It's going to be super effective. Unfortunately, we get put to sleep with Spore. Now, Spore is not going to miss, sadly, but we do end up waking up a few turns later, and now we can just keep firing off another Thunder Shock, and we should be able to take care of this very easily. It also did get paralyzed as well. You can also catch these, unlike Dynamax Adventures. Well, Dynamax Adventures are auto catches, but the Dynamax raids outside of those are not auto catches. These are. As long as you knock out the Pokemon, any ball you use will catch it, which is really good if you're somebody like me who likes to do color coordination with Pokeballs. But now that we've got the Terra Raid done, let's see what these Team Star bases are about. And I'm going to be the first to tell you, this is the worst part. Also some of the hardest fights in this game, but you have to do this little mini-game thing where you have 10 minutes to KO 30 of their Pokemon. It's horrendous, and it's just incredibly time-consuming. I mean, we did have to go back and keep healing just because I wasn't used to how this worked, and now I never have to heal because I'm used to it. But I hate it. Because it's just a lot, it takes so much longer than it needs to. But we eventually KO the 30, and now we get to fight Giacomo, the Dark-type Team Star boss. Now, I went into this fight not knowing what to expect, but I will just tell you right now, this fight sucked. And it sucked right out of the gate. So, we start off with Sprigatito against his Pawniard. And that automatically doesn't go well because we can't do anything to it. And yes, while he probably has a coverage move like Aerial Ace, I'm like, no, we have to switch here. So we switch, and then he just ends up getting a +1 in attack from one Metal Claw. That's only a 10% chance, by the way, and this already wasn't looking good. I thought, okay, well, maybe Psyduck here can confuse him with Water Pulse, but it doesn't happen. Psyduck goes down. Now, Tadbulb does have Mudshot, but the problem with Mudshot is he likely has Defiant. If we lower his accuracy, he's going to get another +2 in attack. We can't have that. Thankfully, Static paralyzes him. Tadbulb is able to finish off Bisharp. Pawniard. Anyway, notice how we aren't getting any experience points for KOing the Pawniard. And I find that very interesting, but what's more interesting is that he sends out this giant car. It's basically like Team Rocket in video game form, but it's Team Star. You know how they'd always have their like goofy little vehicles? Well, that's basically what this is. I honestly didn't like it at first. Tadbulb is down. Also, we cannot status this thing. So, if I wanted to hope that he would attack me to paralyze him, we can't do that. So I thought, okay, well, we'll lower his speed with Clodsire. That's Wooper's new evolution in this game. And while it's not doing much, I'm hoping that at least something else that I have can outspeed it. Now, I kind of hoped that he was, part Steel, but even Mudslap from Tadbulb, if it was super effective, wasn't going to do much, neither was Mudshot. So Clodsire is going to get KO'd. I did have a Flittle at one point, but it kind of just was going to get one shot anyway, so if you're wondering why you see that in my party and it's already dead, I just tossed it in there because it was going to get destroyed anyway. So Fidough is basically our last hope. It has Play Rough, which is super effective, which this early in the game to have Play Rough is amazing, but it also resists his main move being Wicked Torque. Thankfully, when we lowered his accuracy, he keeps missing Metal Sounds and even was trying Swift at one point, so that Mudslap, while it wasn't doing anything early, came in clutch, got him to miss the attacks that we needed him to miss. If he lands both of those Metal Sounds, I don't even want to know how much Swift was going to do. Thankfully though, Fidough finishes it off. If Fidough did happen to get KO'd though, no doubt that we were going to be able to send in our Weed Cat and finish it because he had only a sliver left. But Gyasimo is finally defeated, our team is not any stronger because you don't get experience points, and finally, we can get through this awful fight. I did not expect to struggle that much, and I don't think our trainer did either because I don't think she felt too happy with that handshake. Like, did you see that reaction? She wasn't happy. But I'm happy because I don't have to do this anymore, at least not until potentially the next part. But with that out of the way, we can do the last part of this video, the first Titan. Now, there is a specific order for the Titans, and I didn't do the Titan that I initially had planned on doing. Well, I mean I did, but the one that's supposed to be first is the Rock Titan, and we didn't do the Rock Titan. But we do get materials for finishing Team Star, by the way, which while this is still kind of going, I do want to say, please leave suggestions down below. If there's any challenges you want me to get to, which after this, outside of the Draft League videos, because I did join that, I am going to be getting back into Pokemon challenges as we're going to have Coughing going through Pokemon Crystal, which I'm really excited for that one because that was a challenge that I really didn't know what to expect. However, there's one specific challenge that I was given, even before I was taking suggestions in the comments, that has been one of my most challenging ones yet, so I will let you guys know when we get to that one. But we do have to dodge some boulders to get to the Flying Titan. We're looking around confused. Oh, by the way, we have the winter uniform on, and I really like how this uniform looks. It looks like it presents itself well, it dresses your trainer up all nice. She looks like she means business now. So, Bombardier is the Flying Titan. It's basically a giant stork, but it's not that difficult. I ended up just switching in Tadbulb. Now, normally I don't like using items here, but we're going to use items. Why? Because I don't want Tadbulb to end up getting KO'd. And while we were able to heal at some point a little bit later, I want Tadbulb to get experience, because I don't know if you get experience for these, but we do KO the first part of Bombardier, and then it starts eating this greenish glowy leaf, which is going to be called Herba Mystica, and we'll learn about that a little bit later. I'll explain a little bit more in depth, but first we have to fight it in part 2. So, we still have Flamigo being led, and Flamigo, I figure we might as well just let get KO'd here, because it's not really going to serve much purpose, and while I could theoretically switch to Tadbulb and try to get a static, I'll just let Flamigo get KO'd. We're not really going to be using it, so we're going to be sending in Flittle, who finally actually gets to do something. We're going to try to lower Bombardier's attack. Now, Bombardier does hit fairly hard, but once Tadbulb comes in, after the attack drops from Baby Doll Eyes, it's not really going to be hitting that hard, and Thundershock is going to be able to easily finish it off, netting our first win against one of the Titan Pokemon. Now, as you can see, they are significantly larger than the original Pokemon. It's almost like a Dynamax Pokemon, but not entirely. But as you saw, we did get some experience from this fight. And now, after Arven helps, he will help you with all of these, by the way, we get to go explore the cave. And this is where you learn that what it was eating was Herba Mystica. Now, there are 5 different Mystica. You have salty, sweet, sour, bitter, and spicy. This one was bitter, and each one has a different color to it. So bitter is green, spicy is orange, sour is yellow, salty is white, and sweet is purple. So a different one for each Titan, which is pretty cool. But after Arven blabs on for a little bit and explains to you, you end up he makes a sandwich, you just have this awkward expression, not really feeling comfortable being around the smell of the sandwich. I don't know if he used something gross, but I don't think our trainer liked the sandwich. Who does like the sandwich is Miraidon. Really, this overgrown lizard just likes sandwiches, and I don't understand it. So, I wanted to hit no, but I'm like, we'll give him the sandwich, we'll hit yes, much to Arven's dismay. He wasn't too thrilled, because he spent all that time making the sandwich, and he's like, fine, give it to the lizard. So we did. And then Miraidon finally gets the ability to go on water. I also think it's amazing that after failing to swim twice, this is the first power-up we get. And I think that's fantastic. But that is going to be all I'm going to have for part 1. I'm not sure what's going to be in the next part, but leave suggestions down below for what you do want to see in part 2. Again, I don't plan on showing everything, but please leave suggestions, and if you have anything specific you're looking for, let me know. Keep suggestions coming for challenge videos, and I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys in my next video. Have a great day, everyone.